U.S. President Donald Trump said he didn't have many details about Khashoggi's disappearance, but said he's hoping that'll change. On Tuesday at the White House, Trump was asked if he had spoken with Saudi officials, and he said not yet, but that he will. This after nearly a week of silence. Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist who's been critical of the royal family, had been living in Washington, D.C. for the past year. He entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul last Tuesday, his fiancée says, to obtain papers for their wedding, and hasn't been heard from or seen since. Turkish officials reportedly believe Khashoggi was killed inside the consulate. That's something Saudi Arabia vehemently denies, but for some that denial is not enough.
We expect a thorough investigation and full transparency from the Saudi authorities on what has happened.
If reports of his death and the extraordinary circumstances leading up to it are confirmed, this is truly shocking. We call for cooperation between Turkey and Saudi Arabia to conduct a prompt, impartial and independent investigation into the circumstances of Mr. Khashoggi's disappearance and to make the findings public.
Riyadh has signaled it will open up that consulate in Istanbul for Turkish officials to search. But in Turkey, many are suspicious of what, if anything, they'll find.
It seems that we are facing a case of enforced disappearance that is professionally planned and carried out. I don't think any evidence on this matter could be found inside. This would only serve to clear the name of Saudi Arabia a bit more, but it won't help any judicial investigation.
All of this adds fuel to an already tense relationship between two neighbors, relations that have gone from good to strained to bad and now to worse. At the start of the Syrian civil war, Turkey and Saudi Arabia worked together in their common goal to remove Bashar al-Assad from power. But Saudi Arabia's diplomatic row with Qatar saw Ankara send troops to Doha in a mostly symbolic gesture that irked Riyadh. Some in Washington fear this added tension could threaten U.S. relations with two key allies in the region. Lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle have expressed their concerns and called for immediate answers. Roee, Ruttenberg, CGTN in Washington.